Hey, everybody, this is Callie D with the Smitten Kitten, and we have a special guest here today. His name is Shannon Benson. Is it okay if I call you Shannon, or would you rather go by a different name?
Shannon's fine.
Okay, awesome. So today's subject is going to be a reformed male whore. Now, Shannon, um, on behalf of women everywhere, I have two questions. First of all, what gives you the right? And number two, how dare you? No, but seriously.
I've never heard those two questions before.
It's kind of an office thing. Anyway, um, but also, how dare you? Anyway, so tell me, what makes you a reformed male whore? Let's start there.
What makes me reform? Oh, that's easy. I just don't do the things that I used to do at all.
Okay.
Um, I don't even have the same mindset. I think it was truly just growth. I outgrew it.
Okay. And why would you consider yourself in the past a male whore? Like what makes one a male
Oh,
whore?
well, there may be different definitions as far as what men consider a man whore and what
Hmm.
women may just think he's a narcissist prick.
There's
Uh,
that.
I think it was
Could
just
be.
for me hearing that and wearing that title. I think it was more about I just didn't care. I was on the hunt, on the prowl, on the chase for one objective, uh, but I wasn't mean about it.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's how most guys would justify it and say, I wasn't mean. I didn't hurt anybody. I was honest. But you don't think about that in the midst of it. At least I didn't.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, like I said, for me, it was just that was the main objective. That was the main goal,
Right.
uh, and it was pretty much by any means necessary. Whatever I had to say, whatever.
I was about to go there, but go ahead. Yes, keep going.
No, I'm just saying whatever I had to say, pretty much whatever I had
Yep.
to do, even in certain situations, whatever I had to prove. It. I guess I was lucky. It always worked out
Yeah.
until it didn't,
Hmm.
and yeah, it was for me. It was all about the chase, all about the hunt.
Right. Then once you
So,
slayed the kitty, it was on to the next.
but I know maybe I was naive myself because
Hmm.
I kept saying it's not really about that. Uh, I really wanted to find something that held my interest, or I would say, I would say things to myself like, if I get this one, I'm going to cut the rest of them loose.
Right. Did that ever happen?
No. I mean, in my head, I kept saying, if I get, there would be something pop up on the radar, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, if I get this, then I'm gonna fire everybody else because this
Yeah.
is the one. This is the one,
Right.
and then it would, would happen, and inevitably, nobody got fired.
They just got put on hold for a second. They were on furlough
Well,
for a little bit.
it's kind of like you wonder what those guys are doing when you're not getting texted and you're not getting DM'd, and then they just pop up 2 weeks after ghosting you and go, "What you doing?"
Right.
Or "Hey, stranger."
Oh gosh.
That's what they're doing. And I'm
That's my
probably I mean I could lose my man card for some of this, but
I really believe that these days this is public knowledge is just that a lot of us try to a lot of us feminine types try to make justifications or want to lie to ourselves because we don't want to be that girl. We want to
hmm
be the exception, not the rule. But unfortunately, that's it's a basically it's a law of probability, and you're probably going to be the rule and not the exception. So you should just plan on it, right? Um, but just like what you said, any means necessary. Uh, I've had situations where I've been very clear and concise in my communication on these are my boundaries. This is what, if you don't want to be, if you don't want to do this, then I can't do this anymore. And it's like almost just to show that they can, they'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And then 2 days later, they're like, yeah, I was drunk when I said that. I didn't mean it,
But
or just
that's what. But
whatever.
see, that's exactly what I was about to say. You run into a woman or women who will run down these lists of, yeah, I'm not down with this. I'm not cool with that.
Right.
And if you're not going to do this, then this isn't going to happen. And for me, that wasn't even a challenge. I would listen to the list and be like, okay, this is how I can circumnavigate that. This is how I
Yeah.
can get around
It's almost
that.
like giving somebody a roadmap on how to get to the cookie.
And
Like,
you pretty
cookie
much
is
are.
here. This is how you get to it. X marks the spot.
You pretty much are, but and I talk to women now, whether it be through Facebook groups or whatever,
Right.
and there's only one thing that guarantees you won't get, that you will not be taken advantage of, and that's set your boundaries and don't move on them.
Yeah.
Because when you start making exceptions or bending your boundaries, is when it's almost like I equate it to like an ant farm, or almost like a crack in the foundation. Is that when you start making exceptions and you start changing
Right.
what you set a boundary for, you start allowing water to seep into the foundation, and it may be just one thing, and
Right.
next thing you know, you've lost the prize. You've given away the prize
Yeah.
because with your help, he manipulated you
Oh, for sure. Hmm.
into doing what he wanted you to do.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's the one rule. If you just set your boundary and stick to it, like just be one of those women who are going to be bound and determined that I'm not changing. This is what I said.
Right.
This is what I mean.
Yeah.
It won't, it almost makes it impossible, because he is going to have to fake being in an entire relationship with you
Right.
in order to
So
get
basically, your
around.
boundary should be commitment, is what you're saying.
Well, no, I wouldn't say commitment, because there are commitments nothing. What's commitment? Me being somewhere at a certain time for 3 weeks straight to show you that I am solely committed to you. I could pull that off easily.
Right.
That would be easy. Your boundary is whatever you set your boundary is. And then the funny part is that in today's society, where there's slut shaming, now it's okay for a woman to say, you know what, if I want to sleep with a guy on the first date, I can. I don't have a problem with that. Everybody do what makes you happy, but
Right.
don't come back and spend the next month complaining about how you can't find a guy to get be in a serious relationship.
Right.
Because no matter what, I'm not saying that no good relationships come out of sleeping with someone on the first
Yeah.
night. I'm just saying you
Again,
drastically
that's the
reduce your
exception.
odds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're not gonna make somebody show you that they're into you, then you're not really making him prove anything.
Right.
Uh, Guys, we get off easy because we can get into, I don't want to say a relationship, a situationship
Hmm.
with no skin in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cost us nothing to be in your life, but the damage we can do could be, you won't be able to repair it,
Yeah.
but it hasn't cost me anything but time.
Yeah.
Because luckily for me, I did find that lightning strike. uh I mean, I've been married now for almost 18 months,
Yeah.
and I wasn't looking for it. I was having fun. I was having the time of my life. uh and seriously, I just woke up. My wife, now we went out as friends, and just happened to we were friends. I mean, to where it was a dap and a hug at the end of the night. I mean,
Right.
it wasn't
Yeah.
even, there was
Yeah.
nothing there, but and we just happened to, we say accidentally have that first kiss, and the next day I woke up and I fired everybody. I went through with what I had been saying. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done. And what it was it was those boundaries. It was
Mhm.
we were friends, had spent so much time talking,
Mhm.
and me telling her things, and she telling me, and I knew that, all right, she's not going to take my usual line of BS.
Yeah.
So if I want this, I'm gonna have to shoot straight and be for real.
Yeah.
And because I knew she was the skittish type, on in a serious level of skittish, where the first sign, the first red flag, the first sign of trouble, I'm out. You
Yeah.
don't even, we can be friends. You don't have to explain it, but I'm out. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to. And so, I tell her all the time, she saved my life, because I really feel like if I had kept going the way I was going, I was either going to make some woman hurt me or some woman's husband was going to hurt me.
Oh, that part? Yeah.
Yeah. So I,
Wow.
I seriously woke up the next day and fired everybody. Like, I don't even want to play anymore,
Yeah.
because it's not worth what I had, or what I had the potential of getting wasn't worth the risk.
Well, and I have to tell you, it's really one of those things that until a man is ready, like you can't. I mean, I don't care who you are. I don't. You could be, a model. I mean, there's models all the time that can't get men to settle down. But until, because I've done it every single way where like the man has pursued me for months and like,
Oh,
showed me all this attention. And I'm talking like 6 months, slept on his couch the first 3 times before I realized that maybe this guy was into me, and like had all those conversations only to end up just not, and
You're
then
you're you're preaching to the choir. It is a sermon that I preach
yeah.
over and over, because I do participate in a lot of Facebook groups that have questions, and
Huh.
one of the one of the biggest questions is, how do I get, or how can I tell when a man, I'm like, or what can I do to get this man to
Right.
stop looking? It's like nothing.
Yeah.
There is absolute There is absolutely nothing you can do. You can't put enough money in his pocket.
Right.
You cannot work out enough. You cannot be porn star enough.
Right. You can't be good
If
girl enough. Can't
if
be
he is
wifey
not,
material
yeah,
enough.
if he
you
is
know.
not ready, and it's
Mhm.
all about him. And there's nothing you can do to get him ready,
Right.
because I
Except walk
see,
away with your
you know what?
dignity. With your dignity. That's the only thing you can do.
And the crazy part about it is, if a woman walks away trying to push a guy into being ready.
Oh, no, I'm not saying trying to
No, no,
push
no.
them. I'm
I
saying
get what you're saying.
walk away
Yeah,
because
walk away
there's
and be done.
yes, because
Walk
there's
away,
nothing you can do here. There's no more to see.
because the truth is, if he is ready, if he gets ready, he'll come find you if you're what he wants.
Right.
But you may not be what he got ready for, and
Right.
that's what breaks a lot of people. And I have not, I have not dealt with a lot of females who displayed hoish tendencies, and I'll just say that
Mhm.
in relation to a man who, I have not dealt with a lot of females. So I don't know if it's the same way for women. I don't know if women can grow into a relationship
Right.
that they may not have been ready for. But I know that, can a man? Yeah, a man can grow into it, but he's still got to want to be the kind of man that is in a relationship.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want it for himself, there is nothing a woman can do to make him want it or make him be ready for
Yeah. And I mean, I've dated guys into their 50s that are still playing games like, college frat guys, like
I told my wife, I said one of the best feelings for me now is being able to walk into a room and be beyond reproach from anybody. Like nobody can step and say anything. There are
yeah,
no skeletons to fall out of the closets. Nobody can say, "Hey, your man was in my DMs," or "Hey, he was at the club last week when you weren't there." It's like I didn't know what that felt like, but now I don't want to live any other way.
right.
And it takes us different, and when I say us, I mean guys. It takes us different times to mature.
Hmm.
Everybody doesn't get there when they're 20, 25, 30, 35. And as you just said, there are some guys in their 50s. I'm 47.
Yeah.
And I mean, at 43, 40, man, there was no way. And it for me, it was it was driven by seeing someone that I wanted and knowing and accepting what she knew. I knew what she deserved, and I knew the kind of man I wanted to be. And I can't say I never knew. I knew what kind of man I wanted to be. I just didn't know how to get out of that cycle I had gotten into.
Right.
And there were times when I would be like, I would talk to my best friend and I'd be like, dude, I swear, man, I'm not even putting any bait on the hook. I'm just dropping the hook in the water. And it's like, I can't miss. And I mean,
I
I'm
know.
not, I'm not trying to be conceited
Yeah.
or anything. It just, I guess sometimes you, as a guy or as a person, you can get
Yeah.
in that kind of flow.
You were a lady charmer. You knew what to say.
It was just honesty,
Yeah.
and the crazy part is y- being honest gets you so much further, even when you're up to no good.
Yeah.
If you tell a woman the truth, it gets you so much further.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm about. Oh, Zobear wants to come get on the mic. What's up, Zobear? You want to say hi
Oh,
to
she's
everybody? Oh,
she's so
yes.
pretty.
Sh- Oh, she's like, mommy,
How
I'm not
old is
paying enough.
she?
She's 2. She'll be we got her from the shelter in February at 2, so she could be
Oh,
pretty
okay.
big by now. But yeah. Anyway, mama's not paying enough attention. She's like, mommy, talk to me. Sorry. So that's Zobear, everybody, on a Smitten Kitten. I do not own cats, actually. Uh, totally a dog person. But shoot, what were we just talking about? Zobear. um, so yeah, a man's not going to commit until he's ready. And oh, you're talking about putting the bait out. So what I have noticed, and I get my entanglements here and there. I'm a very strong, driven woman, and sometimes I need a little bit of masculinity in my life, and I'm a sucker for words. So more often than not, I get the best smooth talker to finally break
Hey,
down my walls, and then we get into this little situationship for a little while until I'm like, I can't do this anymore because I have my boundaries. You know what I mean? Like if
but the
we're not gonna move
conversation
forward.
conversation rules the nation. That
Yeah.
is, it is,
So
and that's when I was out there. It would be like a woman saying, "Nah, I know how you are, or whatever."
right,
Oh, you just laid down a challenge.
right,
Okay. But you know what? I'll talk to you, but that's it.
right,
Oh, you really messing up. Because if you give me conversation, it won't take me that long to figure out a game plan.
right.
And
But
once I can start making
uh,
my plan,
yeah, but like you were saying, because I also tend to be more on the polyamorous side. I understand that people have their, wants and needs and desires, and that
hmm
monogamy might not be for everybody. I'm not even really saying that it's technically for me because, I always kind of have like a wandering eye myself here and there. Although I haven't been in a relationship for 8 years, so I can't really like put that to the test right now. Um, However, if a guy was to tell me like, hey, I'm seeing other people, I'm dating other people or I'm interested in other people. I would almost be more okay with that than them, which is what usually happens, giving out the information that you're the only one. I don't even ask those kind of questions. We're just dating. It's none of my fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I don't need to hear that. Like, and I understand that some girls, I think that brings them a little bit closer. Me, I'm not
See,
that way. And so it's like, when they tell me that, usually in my head, because I won't say it back because usually they're not the only one that I'm seeing at the time. I'm not having sex with everybody, but I go on dates and stuff.
but see, you're rare.
Yeah. And
And that's
so,
the thing is that, like you just said, saying, "Oh, it's just you. I'm just talking to you." That knocks down so many barriers.
yeah,
Whether
yeah,
and the funny part is that she can know you're lying. Like she can know that
yeah,
you
you're
just met
bullshitting.
me on some online,
Right,
some dating app, and you're gonna believe that you're the only person that I'm seeing.
right. So
Okay.
usually I don't technically believe them. I'm like, okay, whatever. Even though like it's in the back of my head. So then whenever I find out that it's not true, now you just lied to me.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other animal because I will find out. I have this like uncanny gift of finding information. It is a gift and a curse because obviously, we want to know the truth, but at the same time I'm like, really? Like, I wasn't even trying to find this shit out today.
Hmm.
Like I'm at a party having fun and somebody just blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh, really?
Mess fucks up the whole mood.
I'm like, yeah. So I happen to be seeing that guy right now, and this is gonna be an interesting conversation. Like,
Hmm.
so I even had a tarot card reader one time. Okay, telling you about funny ways I found out information. I was at an event with the guy I was seeing, and I'm at the tarot card reader just thinking, oh, it's just fun. And she's like, yeah, so you're seeing this guy, and you're not the only one. And he had had the whole exclusive conversation with me. I'm not the one that started that shit. He was the one that was like, are you seeing anybody else? Look me in my eyes,
Oh God.
tell me, look me in my eyes. And I'm like, I'm not like, I don't know what to say. And so, and then, if you change your mind, just let's have this conversation, like, okay, cool. I'm only seeing you right now. If anything changes, we'll talk. So this tarot card reader tells me this, and I go up and I'm like staying beside my guy, and he's like, what'd you do? I went to go see it. I went to the tarot card reader. He's like, what did she say? And I guess I paused too long and I just kind of looked at him. I was like, it was interesting. And he goes, okay, we'll talk about it later. And I was like, mm-hmm. So we're in the car and I'm like, so yeah, I start telling him the first two things, which were really on point. And then I was like, and then she said, and I told him, and he just real quiet. I'm like, so am I the only one? Silence. I was
Oh. Oh.
like, why didn't you say something? Like, I could have totally been fucking other people too this whole time, but no, you want to fucking have me be an exclusive and you're over here doing your own thing. But like I said, I just have the most weirdest way of finding out shit. It's not something that I really enjoy necessarily. It's just a fact. And and especially whenever, you consider that person that you've been seeing a friend and that y'all been completely honest on so many other levels for them to lie to you just to fuck
Yeah.
you. It's like, dude, you didn't have to lie to kick it. Like, I probably would have still fucked you knowing this shit. Like, just like give me 100% of the
See, that's the
information.
gamble. That's the gamble that we take is that if I lie, I'll get there quicker, but
Right.
there could be consequences. But if I
Yeah.
tell the truth, it may take me a little longer, but I can always fall back on, hey, you knew what it was.
Exactly. Yes. Let's fall back on that. You know what I mean? Let me be the fucking idiot in this relationship. Okay. That makes things so
But
much
we're
easier.
not a patient species. I mean, we are the male gender is we like instant satisfaction. We like
Yes.
it as fast as we can get it. And if we see the prize, which we are visual,
Yeah.
everyone keeps saying that male men are visual. We are visual. We see the prize.
Right.
Uh yeah, show me how I can get it the quickest. Show me.
I tell you what, Mr. Visuals, all of you out there, you see me, this shit's looking hot. So you can see what you're not getting no more. Okay, that's the that's gonna be your hell. Anyway, but yeah, and then another thing that you said earlier was like you didn't even really have to put out the bait, right? So I'm a very perceptive person, and and I hang out with a lot of dudes too, and like I said, I've had my
Mhm.
entanglements. And then I realized like these guys like and I like how you said bait. I was thinking about seeds. Put out seeds and then they water that seed every so and they'll water that motherfucker for years, just hoping one day they can harvest it.
Yes.
And it's like 4 or 5 years they're watering like 50 seeds. You just can't see it because all you see is your seed. You're like, oh, this guy likes me. He's flirting. He keeps asking me out for dinner. He always buys me drink when I see him. Like he's flirting, flirting, flirting. And then he catches you in that weak moment and you give in and it's over. And then you're thinking, oh, I'm special. Bitch, he ain't special. He's got like 50 other fucking plants out there he's waiting
But
to
see,
fucking.
that's the dangerous part when you
Yeah.
find a man who is patient. And I don't
Mhm.
know what animal you could compare it to. Who's like, you know what? I'm gonna stalk this animal, this prey, for 10 years if I have to.
Right.
Just being that shoulder for her to lean on, or whatever it takes. I'm just gonna be the best friend. But in the back of my mind, I'm going to always be like, today might be the day she slips and falls on my dick.
Pretty much.
And but see, that's also like I have a problem with a lot of things I see now, which are the male female relationship, like
Right.
friendship, because I I believe that even in the most platonic friendship, somewhere in the back of that guy's mind is the thought that if the opportunity presented itself,
For
he
sure.
would.
Hmm.
And I can't speak for the woman.
Hmm.
I've never been a woman.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that friendship, one of them wants to sleep with the other.
Hmm.
They say. I feel like I have a relationship with a few males that are more like my brothers. And like I even have one that's like, he lives in Houston and he tells me if I have to see you in your panties one more time on social media, I'm gonna drive up there and wring your fucking neck. And I'm like, my bad, dude, but he's like, he's so much like my brother that stuff was like, and that's the kind of relationship we have. But obviously, we've been friends since we were like 13 and stuff, and have gone through a lot of things together. Um, and then I have another male relationship where I really feel like, it's maybe not the case. Maybe it started out that way, but over the years, I think it hasn't. But there used to be a radio show host named Tom Likas. He used to come on like 97.1 or one of those like kind of late at night, and
Hmm.
that was his theory was that in a male and female men and women cannot be friends because one or the other wants to have sex, whether it's the girl that's just like pining over the guy and he like leaves her in, like as a friend, like, but she's always just waiting for him just to give her that chance, and she's like secretly in love, or vice versa, the guy is just waiting for his end
And then
to
you know what? When I look at it and think about it, it's like there's no guarantee that it ends the friendship.
right.
It could just be one time thing, and
Hmm.
not like some romantic comedy we see on television, but like it's one time, just
It
satisfy
happens.
curiosity,
Yeah, exactly.
and they just go back to being the best of friends. But
Right.
again, when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, and it's hard because it's like, yeah, I have female friends, but I don't really, I don't see them like that. Like I
Right.
don't see them, and maybe hearing it from you, it's like maybe they have that thought, but no. And my wife, like, she can believe it because she and I were friends,
Right.
and I
Hmm.
for years I didn't even think about it. Like the funniest thing is that she probably killed me for saying this, but I didn't know she had an ass. Like I never even looked. I was just, I,
There it
I,
is.
yeah. Oh,
Like
where'd that
one
come
day you're
from?
like
Like
you're like, wait a second, have you had this whole
seriously.
time?
And that's exact words. Was like, wait a minute, where'd
Hmm.
that come from? Like
Yeah.
I didn't see you like I saw you as one of my not my homeboys,
Right.
but I dapped you up when and
Yeah, for sure.
made sure you got to your car if we went somewhere or whatever, but it wasn't anything else. And then you come out here and you fine as hell, and I feel like I was slipping because
Yeah.
I've been hanging out with you for a year or so. I ain't even noticed.
Yeah.
Like I never watched you walk away from the table when you got up to go get something to drink, or I was like, damn. So it strictly was I enjoyed her company.
Mhm.
We even when I started like dating, we even got together and shared horrible first date stories.
Right. Mhm.
Uh, because I had just ventured into the dating application world.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It was funny. I mean, that right there could.
It's exhausting.
The first date I ever went on was just, oh my god. And from that I saw what everybody was talking about. Like that,
Right.
I don't think I could have had a worse first date experience. It was horrible. I mean, it wasn't bad. Like I didn't fear for my life, but
Let's just clarify.
it was bad in the sense of I think I like went out with a mental patient,
Right.
and I said that, and she
Yeah.
just lost it.
Oh,
Like
yeah, you don't do that.
I was joking,
Oh.
because I was we were talking about mental health, and I said, yeah, I used to work at a mental hospital
Uh-huh.
when I was in college, and I said, so I made a joke. I was like, so yeah, you really are crazy because I've worked with real crazy people.
Oh, snap. It
And I
didn't
was
like that.
joking.
It
Oh
didn't feel
God,
like that. Oh, no.
man, it was like tears and everything.
Aw. I've had two. Let's see. I had coffee with a guy once in Austin, which was kind of weird. I mean, he started being like staunch Republican, and that kind of like shut me down. Phew. Thank God it was coffee, but it was like I hadn't even left the parking lot yet, and I got like a message from him saying, "You can come by and cuddle later if you want." And I'm like, "Negative, Batman." Um, but then I had like two pretty decent dates. One actually went really well. We went to like main event, and he was super cool. Came and picked like had a Corvette that he worked on and stuff. Now that shit's hot. The dude comes and picks you up in a car. That's a nice car, first of all, that he worked on and rebuilt. I'm surprised I didn't give it to him on the first date. Actually, I never
Well,
gave it to him at all. But I ended up taking him to the Dallas Observer Music Awards. And I think I was just being too slow for him because, like, one weekend he asked me what I was doing, and I didn't get his message until like another day, like the next day. And then by Monday, he had a girlfriend. I was like, oh, okay.
see, that's what people forget. I mean, we are around like we are around each other so much. So I'm saying that to say, if I were around you, I get to see how much you interact with your phone and how much you really don't like to be more than 25 feet away from it. Nobody sits on red for longer than 10 minutes without you
Right.
replying. But then when I'm not there and I'm trying to communicate with you, oh, it takes forever for you to reply to me.
I mean, I had a
You'll
legit excuse why I didn't see it till the
No,
next
I'm
day,
just I'm
but
just saying, and then it's like I start feeling some type of way. I'm like,
right.
wait a minute. I know when I'm at home, messages be going off, and she,
Yeah.
oh, let me check my phone. And I send a message, and it's like, yeah, I'll answer him later. At least that's what it feels like on the other end of the phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why I get later
Yeah.
and other people get immediate attention?
Fair enough. But I had a legit reason why I didn't get the message till the next day. I'm not gonna talk about it right here. But
Okay.
um he knew about this too, so it wasn't a surprise on why my message did not get to me until Sunday. Um
Cool.
so anyway, how did you okay, so you became a reformed male whore because you finally decided that this was it. You were ready. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Didn't want
really
to do it anymore.
like to be honest with you, I've been in love a couple of times and I feel like the experience is wonderful. Maybe the person wasn't the one, but do I like regret having that experience with them. Hell no. Like, and I think that when people like are just so scared of love, it's like, man, just do it. Like, yeah, it might really fuck you up, but you're gonna have like some really great experiences through it. You know what I mean? Like, you might just go ahead and put a therapist on retainer, but I promise you, you'll be a better person at the end of it, right?
But
Um,
I, I don't know. I mean, I guess I talk to people who are afraid of falling in love,
yeah,
and I mean, I know someone who's 47, the same age as me, and swears he's never been in love.
that's crazy to me.
And and having a conversation with him and saying, "Have you ever cried over? Have you ever like cried because of something a woman did to you?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I believe you. Then you ain't never been in love. Like,
Right.
if a woman has never like touched your soul, like hurt you to the core, then yeah, you probably haven't, or made you do some regrettably dumb stuff."
Yeah, made you act crazy for a moment.
I was like, there have been plenty of times I have walked out of a room and go, why did I just leave 10 minutes ago? And why did I have to say that? Why did I have to do that? I would have been okay, but now I've made a fool of myself. And
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully it's something I can apologize for.
Well, and I think some of my best art has come out of heartbreak. To be honest with you, you know, um, I've found inspiration in it. And made me be a better person. Like, strive to be a better person just for me, maybe not necessarily for them, but heartbreak is definitely something that damages the ego, and then you got to like
And
repair that shit. So,
yeah,
then
heartbreak will make you rebuild yourself.
mhm,
There are several things that happen in life that you get to set up a new normal, to death and divorce, but uh heartbreak is right up there with them, where physically there's not really that much wrong, but you get to establish a new normal mentally,
yeah,
and figure out what
you're like,
you're
I'm gonna
going
show
to.
them.
Yeah. But you get
Watch
to
this.
come up with a new list. You get to say, this is what I'm not going to settle for, this is
Right,
what I'm not going to settle for.
for sure.
And the crazy part is, Callie, women could solve 95% of the world's problems
Okay,
if
I'm
they
with
would
you.
just. This sounds crazy and prehistoric, but it is so
Mhm.
true.
Okay.
If women would cut off sex
Oh,
to the
for
people
sure. Mhm.
that are doing the things that
We don't
society
like.
doesn't society does not like,
Mhm.
those things would go away, such as the men who walk around sagging. If those men were no longer able to find anyone to have sex
If
with
that's
them,
your first problem.
they would stop.
I was ready for you to say something else, like, the greedy bastards that, like, want to, like,
But I
take
mean,
away our,
no,
our
we
health
can
care and
start
stuff.
we can start small.
We
We
can
can
start small
start
with the guys
small.
sagging their pants.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes. That was great. Thank you for that.
That
That
would
was great.
solve, like, if we applied that to most of the problems that are predominantly male driven,
Mhm.
it would fix those problems.
Okay, so I understand like the women's sexual liberation and everything, and I'm 100% behind that. There's definitely times in my life where I wanted to have more of a casual sex relationship because I had way too much going on, and it was
Hmm.
easier to be sexual with somebody that was like not emotionally attached because I didn't have like the means to be emotionally attached to myself. Whatever. However, when you decide, because I have a friend that was like in a very like a 25-year relationship that was very abusive, and she's not even trying. She has a rotation. She's very proud of her rotation. Baby, have your rotation. I'm good with that. But if you were once you realize that that's not exactly what you want, if you're honest with yourself, that you actually really want a relationship and you actually make men do what they need to do to get that relationship, I think that would also help. But we will still have the ones that are whores. So I don't know. It's hard. I mean, and I say whores in a loving way, ladies.
but
I'm just
the-
saying.
But I mean,
I get it. I get it.
it sounds crazy, but it is so true. If not the hidden crimes and not the hidden things that we don't know about, but
Hmm.
let's just, politics. Some lawmakers that are making these laws that we don't necessarily like.
Yeah.
If
You're talking about
women,
most of the Republicans. Go ahead.
I didn't know who your audience was, so I wasn't gonna.
I doubt it's Republicans. They don't give a fuck about sex. So go ahead.
Yeah, so if they would just cut them off, then hey, that will get that will get some act right. I think it was, who was it? All Hell the V. There was a commercial years ago
Hmm.
where I think it was I can't remember what commercial who it was that made the commercial, but it started off what like it is where civilization began, and it just kept building through different moments in history, and it was talking about all hell the V, all hell the vagina, and it was,
Hmm.
I was like, that right there is the most honest thing I have ever seen. Because if we want to fix the world's problems, that's where we can start.
Right. See, I think what happened was women became property, and then we were only regarded as like cattle, basically. And we didn't realize they took our power from us.
But y'all have the power.
We definitely have the power.
But here's the thing. This is the thing, and it kind of like what you just said. There will always be those whores. I don't, and I know how you
And I
meant it.
say that in a very lovely
Yeah,
if
that
you
is
want to
why.
be, I don't slut shame, baby, go get that D. Fuck all the
But
dicks.
that is why that's why it won't work, because they will always be able to find somebody else who will not hold them to that same standard.
I know.
So if all women stuck together, and that doesn't mean sharing, that just
And
means
are
saying,
you a female? Do you realize how impossible that is?
I know, but I mean, we can't even get all men to stick together.
Yeah.
But I mean, if all women in a certain
Right.
place or whatever would stick together and say, hey, it's like, I remember when Steve Harvey's book was popular, and everybody was on this big kick about think like a man or
Yeah.
act like a man. It was
Or
whatever it was.
think like a man, act like a lady. Yes, I've read
Yeah,
it. I
and
have some
so,
problems with that book, but that's
well,
another
see,
situation.
and then I would have these discussions, and so, and I worked at that time. I worked in an office where it was like 4 or 5 to 1, 4 or 5 women to every one guy,
Uh-huh.
and so we would have discussions about it, and I'd be like, it's never gonna work. The 90-day rule will never work. And they were like, why? I said, because there's going to be some woman out there that's going to lower hers to 20 days or 10 days or 2 days. And everybody that's in 90 days, y'all are going to be labeled in the too hard category.
Well, and the deal is, let's say you're that woman that's holding this man to this 90-day thing, and he's doing it with you. He's fucking somebody else.
Hmm.
He's got like a regular dick appointment weekly with somebody else.
Probably.
And then so what happens? Then finally, like he gets you, and then, because women are just a G at finding information. I mean, it just happens. It's just part of our nature. I don't understand it. I'm not trying to fight it. But we find out that, this whole 90 days, when you think that this guy's been holding out for you, and, and he's done all the things that he needed to earn that in that 90 days, has been fucking some other bitch this whole time. Like, now what? You
You
just go
know,
with it because, like, fuck it, like he did the 90 days and now we're in this relationship and I've already given
no,
myself to
but did
him.
he
And
really do the 90 days?
no, he didn't. With you, he did, but not with his other bitch.
That's just it. There will always be somebody who will say, "Well, that's what she want to do. She can do that, but
Right.
I'm not doing that." That's just like, like I was never a guy who was like, "I'm gonna make a woman pay half the bill when we go out."
Right.
No, if he want to do that, he can do it.
Would
It
not
don't
work
work.
in my
It ain't working
life.
for me.
Yeah.
I just feel like I feel like I would. That's not my style. So
Yeah.
no. But I'm sure there are some women out there who are like 90 days or until marriage, and it's like, okay.
I can't do that because I'll be damned if we have sex on our marriage night and I'm like, that's it.
Well,
That's all
I
you
was
got.
always told.
And
So
and I'm
here's what I
married
was
to
told.
you.
I was told that good sex can be taught.
The fuck it can. Nope.
Because I asked that very question. I was like, what if you
Nope.
wait and
Mm-mm.
you realize that it's whack?
Maybe if you're 20 and everybody has the proper equipment.
But I was told it can be taught.
Uh-uh.
If it's whack, then it'll get
Uh-uh.
better. And I'm like,
Look, I'm 38 years old. If you ain't got it now, you ain't ever gonna get it. It's just
I don't know. I mean, I think about some older women that I've known in my life who at 38 had not yet even discovered
I'm
porn.
not
So,
talking about women. I'm talking about men.
oh,
At 38, if you ain't
yeah,
got that,
that's the you
if
pretty
you
much
ain't got
right.
it, you're probably never gonna get it.
If
I don't
at
know that that can be taught.
no, because if at 38, if you have not learned how to lay the
That's
smack
why,
down.
yeah, that's why like I don't really want to date younger men. I ain't trying to teach you. That's just not in my fucking want tos. You know,
But see, if you do that, you it's like Burger King. You get to make it your way.
whatever. I can make it my. I can tweak it. Okay, it'll be like, you did that. That was really great. That other thing you did, not so much. Let's just like reform this little equation here.
Man,
But
y'all, but that you have to be careful because you meet a 38-year-old man and you tell him he got to tweak something, you might shatter his whole manhood
yeah, I
because
be.
he might think he knows everything already,
Oh, they always do.
and then here you go tweaking, and it's like, wait a minute.
Well,
So are you
it's
saying?
positive reinforcement. I'm like, hey, that was really great. Light up on this. You know,
Yeah,
I
I remember.
loved it
I
the
went
way
through
that you
that,
did
and it
that.
was.
Loved it, loved it, loved it. Now this
I
other
had to
thing, not
learn
so
how to
much.
take corrective criticism
I
because
mean, if you're having sex with somebody and you really want to please them, you have to be able to like kind of listen a little bit, right?
you do, but that doesn't. The fact that you everything you just said is gospel and true does not mean it doesn't sting a little bit.
I guess so. I guess I haven't ever been told that I do anything bad. However, I think that maybe I've been lied
I'm gonna go out on a limb,
to.
just like when you meet a guy who says my wife or whatever has never faked it. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you've probably been lying.
Exactly. I'm sure not everything I do is amazing,
Well,
but it's like a percentage thing, right?
it's mostly
75% of the stuff I do is pretty
you're
amazing.
not really lying. You're kind of just bending the truth a little bit because you want to give her a chance to do it again.
Right.
So
Oh,
if
I already okay. So we're about to go on a tangent. How long have we been doing this? All right, we still have a little bit of time. So what deeply impacted me was at an early age. I lived down the street. I was like 15, 16 years old, sophomore, junior in high school. And these guys that lived down the street had like just recently graduated, right? And like I had known them the year before. So I would go to their house and I would like, smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, 'cause somebody in the house was 21, play poker. And I was kind of like the little sis. Okay. But they fucked one of my friends. And then I get to hear, of course, what she says about about this experience. Oh, he said I was the best at this and I was the good at this and da da da. Da. So I hear all this shit, and I'm like, oh, okay. I don't even think I've had sex yet at this point. Like I was like living vicariously through her. And I go to a poker game one night, and the dude that she was fucked was there, and he was like, "I'll tell you who was the worst at this. Name is my friend." And
uh
I was like, now wait a second. But she tells me that you say, so and so forth, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you always tell a girl that she's the best because bad head is worse than no head." And at that lot, I was just like, never trusted men again. So anytime that somebody said, "Hey, you're really good at this," I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." But am I really? Like I just never would really believe them.
but it's funny how here I am thinking back and going, you know what? It's always been kind of a competition because women will ask that. They will ask, "How was it?" You never say, "Eh, it was all right." It's always, "Oh, it's good."
Yeah, I don't know that I asked.
Top three.
If I don't hear it during the situation, then I just assume
You
that I
damn sure
suck.
can't trust that. You can't trust what you hear in the moment.
I just don't trust any of it. Like, I had a guy one time I was with, and he kept telling me, "Oh, that was some good pee." You know, that's it. And I was like, "Is there any?" And this is me just being okay. So imagine he's trying to like stroke my ego, and he's like, "Oh, that was some good, you know, that was a good kitty." I was like, "Yeah, but have you ever really had bad kitty?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, of course, yes, yes." yes." I'm like, "But really though?"
Hmm.
Like,
It
I'm
does
like,
exist.
"Okay, okay."
It does exist.
So I've been told, but
It's like, yeah,
the
I'm good.
bad kitty is better than no kitty, right?
Nah, nah. There's some that you would just you go home by yourself. You if you've had it before, you be like, "No,
Trash
I'm
ass
good.
pussy. Man, that must be a bad life.
I'm good." And they now most of the time they the ones walking around going, "Girl, I know I got some." No, you don't. Nah, you really don't.
Right? Well, and on that same respect, like the guys that I've that usually brag about how big their junk is or how good they usually don't.
Hmm.
And it's like I was with a guy one time and he would always like, make these big exaggerations about his penis in front of me and I'm like, I've seen it.
That's the worst part. Like
Like,
you take
why
all of
are
our
you
comic
like
material away because it's like I can't even joke about it anymore because if
yeah.
we're out in front of all of my friends, they're gonna be like, "Where's that joke you usually say?" Well, I can't because she knows the truth, and I can't really do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Mm-mm.
it's not funny. It's like, "Homie, I've seen
Yeah,
it before." Like, or the
yeah.
ones that, like, get really drunk and, like, walk around naked, and then, like, 2 days later, they wanna, like, talk about, like, whatever, and you're like, "Homie, I saw this shit. You were really fucked up, I understand. We're gonna give you that, but, mm-mm."
See, I guess that I've been spared that part of being a man.
Well,
I've
and it's
never.
always those that wanna walk around naked. You're like,
Nah,
"Why,
I'm
fool?" Like,
too shy and
the ones that are,
bashful.
like, hanging, you won't catch them with their fucking pants off.
Mm-mm.
You won't. But the ones that are like, "Yeah," wanna, like, fucking try to do the helicopter, and you're like, "It's not happening."
The funny part, well, I say funny, is like I guess I was ruined by the porn industry because I was
Okay,
like, yeah, I'm inadequate all around, and it just
fair enough. I think that's across the board. I think all of us have had those moments in porn. You're like, "Giving it up. That's it. This bitch not
I'm like,
doing
yeah,
that."
if that's what you looking for, yeah, that ain't. I'm just, I
Mm,
don't want to disappoint you. I will just stop you here and say that's not gonna happen. Like, that's not me. That's not reality.
right.
I'm sure he's real. I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying not here. Like, I am not going to touch your insides. Like, I'm not
Not
gonna
gonna
be.
touch your heart through your vagina.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be in your chest cavity.
But I mean, okay, and there is a thing called too big. Like that's definitely a thing. Like a woman's vagina is only so long, and I get it that we like objectify like things that are like way bigger than that, but I can promise you that that is enough.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just a psychological thing, and maybe I used to say maybe I'm the only guy who walks around going, man, this ain't enough. I need to get
Oh,
more.
you're not the only one. I actually my first love was very adequate. And this fool was obsessed with being bigger to the point where he went and got a penis pump.
Yeah, no, never
Actually,
done that.
he made me
He
buy the
made you go
penis.
get
He made me
it.
buy the penis pump. So I buy the penis pump and I'm like, and I'm telling him, you know, you don't have to. I don't know. One of his friends got it, told him it fucking worked or something.
Oh God.
Well, goes to put this penis pump on his penis and it doesn't fit. He can't get his penis inside the penis pump. It's supposed to make his dick bigger. And I'm like, can we just stop now? Like, you're good. It doesn't even fit in the penis pump that's supposed to make it bigger. You're fine.
I finally had one lady I was dating who was like, God, do you talk about this just so I can stroke your ego? You are good. You're fine. I was like, no, I'm serious. Like maybe I was scarred as a child. Like
Yeah,
I see these guys in these movies and I'm like, yeah, that ain't me. But
right.
I want to be that.
No, you don't.
And then I would meet people who'd be like, no, you don't. And there were women who would say, I've known guys who were blessed like that, and they usually come with problems. Either they know that they,
They're over fetishized.
yeah, or they don't have adequate blood flow, so they have problems getting
Mm,
erections.
there's
And
that.
I was like, hmm, that's something I can hang my hat on.
Right.
But it doesn't stop the fact that, I think back 15, 20 years and go, man, I used to just be like, I want a bigger one.
You know, women have the same thing about being skinnier, being having bigger boobs and a fatter ass, longer legs.
Yeah, but you can buy the boobs
Yes.
and the butt,
Yes.
or you can build it.
Okay.
You can work out or get a tummy tuck.
Okay. You can get a penis implant too.
Nah,
Hmm.
nah,
You
it
have to
don't
pump.
work. You
You have to pump the balls to make it hard, but you know, hey, it works.
Nah, it don't work the same.
Or so I've heard.
Nah, I'm good. I'm. It's like I've made it this far. No need, no need to mess with science now.
Right. Word. So, any now we're nearing the end of our time. Is there
Yes, ma'am.
anything that you want to tell women coming from the reformed male horror? I know you've given a lot of really great tips, but if you can summarize an ending for women in particular, what would
For
that be?
women, I would say something that I've stressed during this interview: set your boundaries and stick to them. Once you start bending and twisting, it opens the door for manipulation. He may not be a manipulator, but if you start, if you've said, "Hey, no, I won't spend the night at your house," or if I don't hear from you every 24 hours, uh, then something's up. If that's how you feel and that's going to be your boundary, stick to it. No one goes all day without having at least 5 minutes to spare to send you a text or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, and I gave away the secret of when you're wondering why he ghosted you or where he goes for those 2 weeks before he sends you that "Hey stranger" text.
Right.
There's somebody else.
He's been balls deep in somebody else.
No, no, we do have to find somewhere to exert that attention.
Hmm.
So if you were getting all that attention and then all of a sudden
All of a sudden, you're not.
you're not,
Yep.
he didn't just decide he doesn't want to give women attention. He just decided he didn't want to give it to you.
He wasn't in a bubble lately. Because
Yeah.
I've been in a bubble lately. I haven't been doing nothing. Nope.
Yeah. It,
Doesn't
it always
exist.
makes me laugh when I hear some of these lines that these guys sound like, what? And you fell for that? Well, he was in a dark place and he didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. I mean,
Yeah.
it does, but I never shut someone out. There were times I didn't want to deal with people, but there was always someone in that bubble with me.
Right.
So yeah, so I would just say, set your boundaries, stick to them, and just go with your gut. A lot of times, 99% of the time, women will say, "Oh, I knew it, I felt it,
Yeah.
but I just couldn't put my finger on it."
It's that intuition.
Just
We've been
keep,
told we're crazy our whole lives that we're like, we're just being crazy right now. We're just being crazy. Stop acting crazy. It's fine. He's not doing anything. And then you find out that he was doing something, and then you're on the next episode of Snapped.
And we have it too. We'll feel it in our gut, but we just look past it a lot
Yeah.
of times. We because we're told, which is a whole nother episode I'm sure you could have. Men are told that they're insecure a lot easier than women
Mm-hmm.
are. If a man brings up how he feels, like, man, I feel like she might be seeing somebody else, or I don't
Mm-hmm.
want her, I don't really like going out with her when she dressed like that.
Right.
It's not, it's we're insecure. Why are
Mm-hmm.
you being so insecure? You should be okay with your woman dressing anyway. Not true. You're allowed to set your boundaries and set your standards the same way a woman is. I feel like women use that word insecure a lot now as a manipulative term
Mm.
because
We're
they
all
know
insecure.
calling a man insecure makes him back up because it's almost like you're attacking his manhood
Right.
because another man wouldn't be that insecure.
Right.
But that's my personal feelings on that word. I hate that word.
Okay. Don't say the word to Shannon. So now what would you tell men as a reformed male whore?
I guess I would tell 'em I would not say stop doing what you're doing.
Mhm.
If you're having fun, if you're uh the one thing I would say is be honest, because the worst thing you can do is be playing your games and hurt somebody who really was just an innocent bystander, who believed you and everything you sold them, and you knew from the beginning that you weren't being for real.
Mhm.
Um, just be honest, because like we discussed, there's a lot of times you can be honest and you still gonna end up with the same result. Uh, that's like a 50-50. If I tell her the truth,
Yeah.
uh, but I'm not gonna be the guy who says, "Oh, you need to stop." No, if you having fun, you grown, and that's one of the things we all say. We're all adults,
Right.
so if you're having fun, you're not hurting anybody. Keep doing you. But if you are lying or whatever, there's gonna be some hurt come down, and it's gonna fall on somebody,
Mhm.
and you do care a little bit about each and every woman that you're out there stringing along or whatever. Uh, they're going to go through some type of hurt. And the one thing that on the other side of my transformation that I look back, I never thought about how stupid I made some of these women look.
Yeah.
It never occurred to me. I just felt like, I got you before you got me. But it never, and that's the part I think I heard about that still nags me, is that I never thought about how stupid I made you look. I
Mhm.
listen to these song lyrics that say, you got me out in these streets looking stupid. It never crossed my mind.
Yep.
So that if my one tip to guys would be, play them straight up, and because that hurt's gonna fall on somebody, and you got to live with the consequences of what you did.
Yep. And karma's a bitch.
And yeah, and she likes women a lot more than she likes men. So, and when she
Yep.
comes back, she usually comes back harder. So yeah, you're right. Karma's a bitch. Uh, yeah, because if women turn the tables, I really don't think men could handle it. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion, and I don't buy into the men can't take the hurt that they pass out to women.
Well,
I don't
and
agree.
when
I
we
don't
do
agree with
turn the
that.
tables and we turn it into like a money transaction, then we're a whore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna make you pay for this shit since you don't want to give me like what I want. So I want a monetary vacations
But you know what?
and
If
like
if
all that kind
again,
of stuff.
if women were honest, if they honest about it and say, you know what, I don't want a relationship,
Mhm.
but for what I give you, it's gonna cost you a car note every month. You're gonna have to pay my car note, or you're gonna have to pay a fourth of my rent, or you're gonna have to buy me this bag, or you're gonna have to take me to these top five restaurants,
Right.
and and then we will exchange our compensation at the end of the night. If If you can't do that, then I don't have any use for you.
Mhm.
But it's the same way with the guys, because you have some women who will, that's all they want. So they trade you, they won't, they don't come straight out and tell you. They just keep juicing you and taking advantage of you.
Right.
And then you realize, and at the end you feel like, man, I done bought 5 purses over 6 months. I wasn't even realizing that that's all she
Yeah.
wanted. So it goes both ways,
For sure.
but well, I have enjoyed it, man.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to plug? Do you
I do not, but hopefully soon. I think we've exchanged some messages. I would love to uh I keep going back and forth whether I want to give dating advice or what. So I might just start 2 or 3 podcasts and see which one catches on.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can have like a lifestyle podcast where it's just, there's
Yeah.
people that do that where you give a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm headed.
Yeah.
My wife and I talk about doing some couple things together. Uh
Nice.
I actually, yeah, I'm trying to come up with a not anything funny like swingerish,
Oh, I
but
thought you
like
said okay. Uh-huh.
but like a couples dating app
So
where,
you can do like double dates?
yeah, but in like for couple friends,
Okay.
because a lot of
But
people,
not swinging.
no,
Okay.
no, what y'all do
No
on
key
y'all's own.
no keys are going into a fishbowl
No,
tonight.
no keys. No, nobody's wearing pineapple shorts or none of that. It's no hidden doors and none of
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
But
gotcha. Right on.
some
Well,
up and
that's
up,
cute.
some above board.
Gotcha. Hey, like sometimes couples need other couples to go out with. So I think
Yeah,
it could be a thing.
it could
Definitely.
be, and you get to fill out. I still got to work with a developer and everything, but
Okay. Yeah, don't give all your secrets. Somebody will steal it.
yeah,
Well, it was really great having you on tonight. I'm going to edit this, which I usually don't do anything other than just straight upload it. So be on the lookout for that. I'll send you the links. I'll have it on YouTube and then I'll have it on Facebook and then I'll put a snippet on Instagram so that people can go to either YouTube or Facebook to find it. But
yes, ma'am.
I enjoyed this episode very much.
Thank you for
So
having me.
thank you
I
for
enjoyed
your
it.
complete honesty, and I'm glad that you are a reformed man whore.
I am.
Got
Thank you.
another one off the streets. All right. You take care now.
You too.